Martial law in the Philippines o Batas Militar ng Pilipinas. Martial law was declared on September 21, 1972, and the day that the Marcos dictatorship began.
In September 1972, Marcos declared martial law, claiming that it was the last defense against the rising disorder caused by increasingly violent student demonstration, the alleged threats of communist insurgency by the new Communist Party of the Philippines or CPP, and the Muslim separatist movement of Moro National Liberation Front or MNLF. One of his first actions was to arrest opposition politicians in Congress and the Constitutional Convention.
Initial public reaction to martial law was mostly favorable except in Muslim areas of the South, where a separatist rebellion led by the MNLF broke out in 1973. Despite half-hearted attempts to negotiate a ceasefire, the rebellion continued to claim thousands of military and civilian casualties. Communist insurgency expanded with the creation of the National Democratic Front or NDF, an organization embracing the CPP and other communist groups.
Ferdinand E. Marcos signed Proclamation Number 1081 on September 21, 1972, placing the Philippines under martial law. Some sources say that Marcos signed the proclamation on September 17 or on September 22, but in either case, the document itself was dated September 21. Throughout the martial law period, Marcos built up the cult of September 21, proclaiming it as National Thanksgiving Day by virtue of Proclamation Number 1180 to 1973 to memorialize the date as the foundation day of his new society. The propaganda effort was so successful that up to the present, many Filipinos, particularly those who did not live through the events of September 23, 1972, labor under the misapprehension that martial law was proclaimed on September 21, 1972. It was not.
Martial law involves the temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule and is usually invoked in time of war, rebellion, or natural disaster.
Martial law is the imposition of direct military control of normal civil functions or suspension of civil law by a government, especially response to an emergency where civil forces are overwhelmed or in an occupied territory.
The legal effect of a declaration of martial law differ in various jurisdictions, but they generally involve a suspension of normal civil rights and the extension to the civilian population of summary military justice or a military law. Typically, its imposition accompanies curfews, the suspension of civil law, civil rights, habeas corpus, and the application or extension of military law or military justice to civilians. Civilians defying martial law may be subjected to military tribunals.
Martial law would officially end on January 17, 1981 with Proclamation Number 2045. Marcos, however, would reserve decree-making powers for himself. Today, the 1987 Constitution safeguards our institution from a repeat of Marcos' martial law regime.